about time for a build video. We needed to build some computers here for the office, and I was roaming around on eBay not long ago, and I saw some Xeons from Hong Kong, and then I saw some from China, and then I saw some from here in like Ohio or somewhere, but they were production samples or engineering sample Xeons, E5 for the X99 motherboards, the next generation Broadwell E stuff. We grabbed an E5 2690 version 4, and those are 2.1 gigahertz, 2.1, maybe it's an engineering sample thing, but they will turbo all the way up to 3.5 on one core. So the big deal with those is that they're 14 core, 28 threads, 35 megs of cache, and that's better than any of the extreme stuff, any of the i7s or whatever. That's better than that, so they should be better for productivity, which is what we need here in the office. Grabbed one. It worked. It worked well. It beat my, 5960X that's overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz. It beat that. Syndicate mentioned a few other things, so I was like, huh. And they're only a couple $100. So what do you know? I grabbed a few more and they're all awesome. Anyway, we built a machine around that right here in this system. And we'll put links to all this stuff on eBay. I know Intel doesn't like it when you do these kinds of things, but it saves you a lot of money. These are like $2,000 MSRP. And you can grab an engineering sample that may be a little bit wonky, but still super powerful. You want to make sure you get a motherboard that's compatible with these things, and I have tested this one, the Gigabyte X99 Phoenix G1. It's the gaming motherboard. Tons of interesting features. You've got U.2 on the back. Woo! Right here it is. Yes, because does this look good? You also have M.2 on here. Just plenty of room for options and upgrades, and it works with the Xeon E5 engineering samples. Now, most of these engineering samples will work on most motherboards, but I know some lock them in the UEFI to say no engineering samples. So I know this one works. We also have an MSI in the office over here. And that one, the MSI works as well. So that's kind of cool. Speaking of cooling, this came out of nowhere. This is the Pure Rock, rated for 130 watt TDP. And I would usually like to go a little bit higher than this for cooling, but it's, with this, you don't overclock this CPU. It's not really made for that. So I decided to use that. And it works just fine. It's keeping it cool even during, like longer periods of benchmarking, gaming, and all that sort of thing. All right, next up on the list, let's talk about the power supply on that. And also, this is another thing that we kind of skimped out and went for the minimal. We had this Be Quiet here in the office, which is not sponsored by Be Quiet, by the way, but we were like, let's kind of go with the theme. And 600 watts is enough for this system. But I usually like to do overkill when it comes to this. But this is a 600 watt gold power supply. It's also extremely quiet, and that's something that's nice. We all have nice, quiet PCs here. Okay, we also went with a Fury graphics card. So we got the Sapphire R9 Radeon. It's our Radeon R9 Fury GPU in there. And that one is really nice for OpenCL performance, but also it's really good for FreeSync and that sort of thing. So we'll run it with the monitor with FreeSync and be happy on that one. For the memory, we got some really sleek Corsair Dominator memory. Only have 16 gigabytes, but it's in quad channel. And this is going to be good because we'll upgrade this soon and have 32 gigabytes for rendering and doing some editing and stuff like that. If Justin decides to do some editing and rendering, maybe we'll do that for some of the fun videos. Who knows? Let's talk about the storage right now. So we have a couple different storage options. I would have preferred to have an M.2 in there. Didn't have one lying around in the studio, but as soon as one comes in, we'll throw like a nice M.2 NVMe drive in there. But right now we do have a decent ADATA SP610 256, decently fast for the OS and some of the other things like that. As far as storage go, we have one of the Western Digital green drives in there. And if you have a little bit more money, go ahead and grab an HGST 4 terabyte NAS drive. Those will work great in here, but that's what we had lying around here. So since I said it's a Franken build, it really is a Franken build. All right, for the case, we went with this beautiful and quiet case. It's the Dark Base Pro 900. If you guys want to see the full review, that is linked in the description. Also over on crit.tv, you guys can go over there and check it out. See the whole entire review where we just basically pull this thing apart and then take a good look at it. But this case is nice, it's quiet, it's also really pretty, so it's going to become sort of a piece in the office. We're going to put it on a desk, and it's going to look really nice and pretty. All in all, this build is very different and interesting, but it's also extremely fast. And there are different options that maybe, if you're doing this at home, you'll want to do. I really like these engineering samples on eBay that you guys can find. They're just freaking fast. The extra cache, some people are worried, maybe worried about gaming as far as the frequency advantage goes with an i7 or even, grabbing an i5 on one of the other platforms and that sort of thing. The frequency advantage is nice for some games, and a lot of games do not take advantage of 14 cores. However, having the extra cache is really useful. One of the cores can turbo up, which does help in games. And this thing is pulling about the same FPS, as some of the i7s out there. So it's good for gaming, but it's really good for productivity, and it's really good for the price when you look at like, well, you know what? I can grab this for a couple $100, or I could grab the i7 for $700-800 more, sometimes $1,000 more, maybe even more than that. So it's a really, really good price to performance ratio here. We're talking like better than AMD price to performance ratios. I know that the AMD prices are low, so that's really cool. I would definitely build this system again. We built it once. I would build it again. I might change out some of the hard drives and stuff like that, but very happy with this little guy. We'll be doing some more of these Xeon builds. I did buy a 20-core, 40-thread, 50 megs of cache. I believe it's 50 or 55, but we'll do a build on that one. I'm going to use that one here in the office to, make music and, play around with some productivity stuff. So there you have it. Can you guys hear that? No, not really. It's just really freaking quiet. Do you have a name for this thing yet?
Still like Orange Joe.
What do they call you? Most folks just call me Orange Joe.
Orange Joe?
Orange Joe. It's a Futurama reference. I appreciate it.
Orange Joe?
Yeah.
Should we let them vote on it, or?
Yeah, if they want to come up with a better name for it, I'd love to
The
hear
Flumph.
it. The Flumph? No. The Orange Box?
The Orange Box, I don't know.
Yeah, come up with a better name online, please.
Yeah, everybody throw in your suggestions and we'll let you know what the name was. And if we pick your name, maybe I'll send you something weird. I don't know. All right, click on stuff over here. Grab a t-shirt, they're awesome. Grab a mug, they're even better. And maybe, do we sell hairdos? Some of you guys need to buy new hairdos. I've met you, but I don't think we sell them yet. That'll be the next thing. All right, see you guys in the comments on the website and maybe even on YouTube. All right, bye everybody. I love you. Except for you, Dave.